It was. So therefore it doesn't work. It's okay. We are again back into the second game, which is a match point for Lafu Kabi. And let me let me tell you this, guys, that if Lafu Kabi wins, P2P will be going to home. They will be not contesting in Mythic Showdown. They'll be bye bye. And maybe I will say one more harsh thing is that they will be out from the mythic leaderboard, maybe, because I heard that whoever will be the top 8 will be totally given the mythic leaderboard scene. I mean, Lafukabi being in the number 10 can comes to the number 8, can cut out the P2P from the, I mean, their rank. Right now we're there. So let's see how it goes. But right now Badang should be in the ban list from the beginning. Asuya, what do you think? P2P gonna ban?
Um, there are so many. Cannot actually predict what they're going to ban because there's so many heroes and all of them getting buffed. They are pretty good. Although in the previous draft, if you did see that Selena was taken up, and as a counter laugh, Peak to Plummet, they decided to go in for something similar. They decided to go in for a Novaria, and like they were too squishy. They did not have enough crowd control, and then, if we do see, especially that R Lord pick in the beginning, he is good. But then Lafu Kabi, the way they picked up the Link, they picked up the Selena, they had so much mobility, and even the Yuzhong, they were kind of directly nullifying the entire kit of R Lord. Couldn't actually do anything, and he should have maybe gone in for some defense items right there. Because if I did see he had gone in for the War Axe as the first item, so at least he should have, at least thought that since they lack some sustain, some frontlining, maybe going in for some defense could have been a good option for them. But right now, Peak to Plummet, banning that Yu Zhong, well, he did do an amazing job in the early because it was 2, 3 kills solo. Yu Zhong doing such a great job.
Ranger into the ban list again. A respect to a Skyzen. That's good again from Lafokabi. They know that they got the confidence right now into their side because they won the first set. Only one more to win, and you are safe. You're be back into the Mythic Showdown. You're not going anywhere. P2P, where if you think they need to win this 2 match if they want to stay in the tournament, if they wants to fight in the tournament. So reverse sweep is the only option right now for P2P, whereas Lafukabi sitting in the passenger seat doesn't need to be worried about this match. We'll be worrying about the third match if it goes. But okay, the Kalea would be in the ban list. A respect ban's going on. I mean, pretty respect bans because it was the picks in the last game. So now they're in the ban list. Itami, third ban. A Roger.
Even if a Roger is picked out at this point, I kind of doubt it. It's not because Roger is weak, but for some reason the team are not able to execute him well. One of the reasons can be the early game snowball. If you are able to keep up with the farm with the other gold laner, then Roger can actually work out. But unfortunately, for all of the series we have been like casting around, the Roger is literally a curse. Hopefully, whichever teams they try to prioritize it this time, they will be coming up with that strategy that Roger is able to get a snowball ability first in order to just get the trades for his team. But for now, I'm kind of doubtful with the Roger, honestly. And looks like the bans, the EXP roam priority is apparently there, like excluding the Granger. Because Granger, we have already mentioned, it is one of the signature picks of Skyzen, and he is not getting that hands onto that Granger. So if team pick to Plummet, they will be doing that priority, the gold league priority, then I guess this time he might be going out with a Moscow instead of Lafukavi having it.
Yeah, but I feel like the first pick from Lafukabi will be a EXP because I think it will be a Uranus maybe coming from them, or Zozo going for Selena again. Okay, I got right. Uranus being in the
Oh,
pick right now by Lafukabi. There you go. And from P2P, I think they will be going with, as you said, a Harith from Skyzen or maybe a Moscow. But Harith, pretty good with him. I mean, I saw him. He is pretty good with the Harith. But as we have mentioned in the previous match, Harith has a nerf right now, so he's pretty counterable with some other MMs around there. Irithel being open will be a threat to pick that Harith from the first pick. Let's see what P2P planning right now, but I hope they go with that Harith pick and Selena maybe this time onto their side.
Well, can be
Oh,
possible.
Moscow.
But right now, we do see Moscow being picked up by Peak to Plummet this time. So if if the previous draft Ash, since there was so much like Novaria is a mage who is hard to take down, so Lafu Kabi just decided take all the heroes who can dive in, who can pick off so easily, and like if one person fails to take someone down, there will be the second one following up, whether it be the SOD, whether it be our Cyan Finchling himself, whether it be the Selena stun. There was so much freedom of movement with Lafu Kabi in their hands in the first game. So right now, Peak to Plummet need to make sure that they at least provide some safety circle to the marksman. Because right in the previous game, if you do see, he was doing 1 versus 2 in the top lane. He was always alone. He didn't get the snowball. He didn't get the goal which a Roger needs. So whichever marksman Peak to Plummet decide to take up,
Boom.
the rest of the team needs to make sure that he gets some
Oh,
space to
oh.
execute his skills. And right now, once again, Zozo going in for Selena. Once again, we will be seeing those great plays coming from him and Beatrix onto the goal lane. So, what do you think, Ash? Moscow versus Beatrix.
I feel like it's a big gamble from Lafukabi because Beatrix is some kind of hero who is not having the damage spike in the early game, but in the late game she's insane. Whereas Moskov is someone with the crit build, he has damage all over the time with attack speed build. In the late game, he's a menace too. So it feels like what build he is going on, attack speed or crit. I'm not sure about. I think he will be going with attack speed because it gives you that mobility and it will be great against CC based heroes, just like Selena being there, Uranus coming on, or Rome will be coming on soon. So it kind of that thing, but I was expecting a Bruno or a 1-1 here against this Moscow, not a Beatrix. And about Zozo, Selena, so guys, in 2020, I remember i7 was compared with RRQ Lemon, and Zozo in 2025 get compared with Sans Super Prince by his fan. So let's see how it goes. Again, the Selena walks or not. Lafukavi be in the tournament or not. Kimi in the mid though.
Hmm. From both of the sides, this time on to the second phase of the bans, we are seeing a jungle priority, like jungle bans apparently. The Ling has been banned out, so it was Team Lafukabi with the Ling. Or earlier, he was able to get the farms as well as the kills being secured for his side. It was hard to get a shutdown onto him, and one of the reasons why like it actually excelled was the aggressiveness from him. So I
True.
actually wouldn't be surprised if they went out with an assassin composition once again, or maybe they might not be able to, like they might not go out with the assassins, or maybe rely onto the utility. But looking at Peak's draft, I believe they don't have a healer for their side, so they might be trying to gamble it out. They will be trying to go out with an assassin, which can be a Joy actually. Joy can actually work out against a Selena and a Beatrix, but it all depends upon the user.
Yeah, Hilda coming on. I've been seeing her like up to 3 weeks mainly. Haven't seen a Hilda coming on to the draft nowadays. But Invade will be there, so I hope a Bakshia should come here right now from Lafugabi or to the Rome. Okay. Joe picked up nice and Clyde for the Moscow and the Kimi will be in danger right now with the joy being I mean thought onto pick to Plummet by Tami will be there from Lafu Kabi. Right now a big question is who gonna pick up this joy? I don't see any CC other than the Hilda. And if you wanna say me talk
Oh,
okay,
Julian.
this is insane. Nerf one. Okay, I don't want to say anything. My hero got nerfed. I'm not playing this game anymore. So, Asuya, tell Julian, will work or not? I'm damn sure it will not work. Okay, it's not
You know,
working at all.
First of all, I think Peak should have saved the roam or maybe the EXP because, of course, Gadokacha is the flex right there. They should have saved it because in the last game we did see that Ling was there. There was nothing to catch the Ling. In this game, same goes that Hilda has that stun with the ult, with the stacks marks she makes, but then again, Joy can easily just move away. So even in this game, there is nothing who can just restrict this girl right here, this joyful girl which we're seeing dancing around. So yeah, Maybe picking up a Franco or a Kaja, just saving that last pick could have been a better option for Peak right now. And I don't know if Julian will work out in this because once again, Team Lafu Kabi does have a lot of mobility, and I think they were thinking two steps ahead, Itami, because when there is just joy, you usually go in for some pickoffs, something like Joe, something like Franco, something like Kaja. So maybe just Lafu Kabi didn't want them to have it, and they just took up. Okay, meanwhile, look at that damage coming
Oh,
in right from the beginning. The flicker being used up by Moon, a waste, I would say. But then they were trying to invade Azulian.
aggression is definitely there, and one thing about Peak is they have the Hilda for their side against the. So it's not just the Uranus who will be, getting getting the heals from the damage he has been dished out, like the damage he has been taking on, but it will be the Hilda as well, who will be able to recover a lot of HP by just be staying onto the bushes. But anyways, this time Big Deployment, they are not over engaging onto any team fights, which is the safest choice considering the fact how the game number one went for their side. It was the aggression, and Lafu Kabi, their draft was really aggressive and they were able to execute it really well. Meanwhile, Zozo, he might be trying to dive in, and the Chao also just dives in, but
Oh,
they don't have the HP this time. And the overextension will be costing them. Two of their members, the Roma as well as Zozo, just goes down. First blood being drawn for the side of Team Peak to Plummet.
that was, I would say, in the previous game, Zozo was doing great because the roamer from the side of Team Peak to Plummet, it was Rufila. She was very squishy. So it was pretty easy for them to invade. But in this game, they need to
Oh, Aizen!
be really, really, oh my god, Aizen doing a solo, taking that kill onto the Uranus. And ladies and gentlemen, even if Uranus has been buffed, that just shows that our wild woman still takes to the top with a lot of damage. And
Yeah.
right now, Kafukabi actually in some issue right there, but meanwhile Joy trying to take down the Hilda.
Oh,
Aizen in a really low HP tries to go inside that bush. The shield does not come in clutch as that was too much of an overextension. Aizen will be traded away. Now the entire focus shifts to the top lane, Itami.
yeah, and Beatrix, she should be a bit aware of her positioning as well. Chow is actually doing trying to get visions. Okay, Julian will just be going back. And regarding this Julian pick, if he's able to get the snowballs, then it might actually work. But this time he might be actually deep, and okay, somehow with the sights, he just
Um,
goes back. The SOD comes up, but the Moscow will not be engaging anytime soon. The Joy is yet to be diving onto those team fights. Skyzen, he is making sure he doesn't go out quite aggressively because the Chow is also there, and he doesn't have a purify skill. He does has the mobility, but he doesn't have that cancel kind of a skill set onto him right now. So he needs to be a bit aware of the fact that Chow, he can be just using out the Shinpo and try to catch him.
well, yes, definitely. Meanwhile, just look at the rotations coming in from both the teams. And
Oh,
then comes the stun from Aizen, still looking to go in for the Joy in a really tight situation.
oh
And
no!
he will be taken down right before the turtle spawns solo, trying to do something right there. But Aizen is really, really hefty, really, really chunky in the early game. Even Uranus can't do much against him. And in this game, Peak to Plummet showing that how good a good draft, how good the good draft's execution can actually help them out. And the
Oh,
taunt
oh,
coming, sticking
oh,
on to Zozo uses up the flicker to move
oh
away, but it
no!
is not enough as Aizen takes another kill onto his hands. Aizen doing an amazing job right now, and with this, Lafu Kabi will not be able to compete for the turtle. Joy is not looking for it. Even the macro is already onto their hands. The stun connecting in once again. The turtle in the hands of Team Speak to Plummet right there. One more kill as Uranus is not able to stand up against Peak right now. The blue buff getting invaded. The rest of the team coming in, but they just decide to move away right now, looking for some traps in the top lane. Itami.
Yeah, and this time, the execution is a way like it's way better compared to the previous game. Okay, Beatrix used out the grenades, but looks like Julian will be trying to engage. The EOTG comes up, but the Chow, he will be forced to use out his flicker. They are trying to engage. Electrifying beats is yet to be coming out. Charin gets another kill onto his name. They just got the kill. They just go back because it is a kill onto that Uranus once again. Aizen is trying to overcommit onto that team fights. Julian is yet to use his side, and that will be a mega SOD will be missing from Skyzen onto two people. It goes right from the middle onto the two people. And looks like Zozo, he is quite low onto the HP as well. A 2 for 0 for the side of Team Peak to Plummet. And looks like Kimmy, she is doing the split pushes as well, almost taking down the tier 2 tower. The minions were not there. If it was there, then definitely it would have been taken down. Lemonade, they are playing those poking games, but the thing is, once the team fights are happening, this time Peak to Plummet is the team that is having the upper hand.
That just shows Itami how good the EXP is making difference in this meta, because in the previous game Yuzhong took those early kills for the team. There was the snowball in the hands of Team Lafu Kabi, and they did amazing. The aggression was there. In this game, Aizen is the one taking those solo kills onto Uranus. There isn't enough crowd control in the hands of Team Lafu Kabi, or maybe Selena's stance and not actually being connecting to the mage, to the marksman who actually need to be prioritized, because there's always Aizen and always the Katotkacha in the
Oh,
front lines being the walls they are. And if we do look at the macro, definitely in the hands of Team Peak, since they do have the snowball, they do have the damage right now. They are doing pretty well. And the next turtle of the game, once again coming up. Okay, the stun connecting in from the Moscow, and look at the taunts coming in from Aizen, as well as the Katotkacha Moon will be taken out. And with that, once again, Peak forcing it through, forcing them to go back, defend. Moscow's damage, he already has a lot of gold and he is hitting quite hard. The stun connecting in once again. Zozo goes behind the scenes. The
uh-oh.
stuns onto the Uranus once again will be taken down. He is not able to do anything in this game because he's getting melted down.
Yeah, definitely. And speak to Plummet, it's only once that one of the members have been fallen down. It was Aizen, and this time it is kind of giving me the deja vu of the first game, but this time the stakes are on Team Peak to come in. There is the initiation coming up. Leminar will just not be going back. Apparently, he just go back this time. His taunt was there. Even if they are trying to engage, the snowball potential is not that okay. The way of the dragon comes
Uh-huh.
up onto that Gatot Kacha. He will be forced to use out his AOG. He just goes back, and but that was quite a waste of a like use of a resource. The flicker was also used down. He could have been using onto the mid as well as onto the gold. He tried to dash out onto, like, he tried to get a kill onto the rumor, but unfortunately it didn't happen. He still had that resource to get back, and this time Peak to Plummet, I guess they will be focusing onto their objectives. That will be a crucial lot coming up into the next few seconds.
Well, definitely, and the joy, his targets seem to be Kimi as well as our Moscow, but then again, they have a lot of mobility. And the pick off onto Eisen, and just to goes away. That was a
Oh,
waste of a resource, if you ask me. The rest of the team connecting in, the SOD, the damage coming in from the Moscow as well as the Kimi is immense right now. Eisen doing the best with the zones, trying to provide the front line. Here comes the Skyzen looking for that engages, looking for that damage from behind the scenes. The sync is perfect, the follow-ups are perfect, the damage is perfect, the goal lead they have it, and the macro they have it, the first lot of the game. I think even that is in the hands of Peak right now.
definitely. And the Lord has been spawned, so it might be an uncontested Lord unless Joy comes up with a clutch play. She is still trying to engage. Looks, oh my goodness,
Um,
she just gets bursted down. She did try to engage, but that electrifying beats as well as the initiations were not up to the point. A big risk being taken down from the side of Team Lafu, but unfortunately, it is Team Peak to Plummet once again. They will be securing the Lord, and the map control is definitely better because it's only the inhibitors as well as the S2 tier tower. It is quite low on HP. So if the lane syncing is up to the point, then maybe TP to Plummet, they will be trying to end the game as soon as possible. But this time, okay, the Abyssal Arrow will be connecting. But okay, the Way of the Dragon also comes up. AOG has been used out. It doesn't connect onto anybody. Kimi uses the ultimate. They have decided to go back.
oh,
The SOD comes up from Skyzen. He was trying to stun down. Oh my goodness, the Chow doesn't have the Way of the Dragon this time. Even if Skyzen initiated, they were not able to find those trades. And the Lord has been up. Oh my goodness, Jaren was able to get a solo kill onto that Joy, and they were trying to mark onto the base. They just tried to go
mhm.
in. The side being used out. Zozo forced to use out this flicker. The Krista is wide open, and this time Peak to Plummet, they are trying to end the game, and they might actually be able to do
Oh,
so, and that will be it. Team Peak to Plummet comes up with a comeback. 1-1. We are definitely going to be seeing a game number 3. And Ash TZ, are you back? I guess
Yup,
he
I'm
should be
back.
back. Yep.
No, I'm back. I was just flabbergasted by the gameplay from Peak to Plummet. They literally played well in this match, even though they know that this is a do or die set. They literally went good. It's because of the, you can say, the fights. They take the fights in a good way. That's the reason they won this match. And Julian does walks. That's a quite good one I saw. But it's kind of a lame thing to see as well because he is totally nerfed these days. Maybe the reason is